Hello, very good morning. Welcome to JS Testing Academy. Welcome to the next video, which is a part of a series which we are posting manual testing, right, tutorial. Okay, so the last video we saw about test execution, the fourth phase in the software testing life cycle, and this is another phase, the last phase, that is test closure phase. Okay, so in this is the final phase in your software testing life cycle, and test closure is generally in simple terms, right, closing all the testing activities and preparing the reports. Okay, so that is what we do in the test closure phase. In the execution phase, you would have executed all the test cases, updated the RTM, prepared bug report, right. You would have sent the log report, everything would have completed. In the test closure phase, we just prepare the reports. That is what we do. Okay. What are things we can do is, right, evaluate the test coverage, nothing but RTM. RTM means as per the requirements, all test cases have been written, executed, passed, or not. We are going to check the RTM and see what is the status of the project. Okay, that is what the first thing which we do in the test closure phase. We check the status, right? If there are 100 requirements, all the 100 requirements have been tested or not, whether it's passed or not. Okay, that is what is the first thing. Evaluate the test coverage. Next one is review the test results, right? We have a manual test results, we have an automation test results. Both will see how much testing has been planned and how much executed and how much is remaining. Okay, we circulate the test summary report to the team and make sure how much testing has been done. That is the next thing. Next one is we'll document the lessons you learned during this phase. What are the best practices you did and the mistakes you did? Like we did environmental, right, testing very well. We set up the environment very well, right? All the testing active user stories have been completed on time, right? Or the problems you face, right? There is lack of communication gap between the team. So what are the problems or lessons you learned during the sprint or a release, that you'll document it. And next one is prepare a test closure report. Okay, so like that you completed all the testing, everything is done. We can move, can take a, right, send a mail to the, right, product owner taking a decision, let's go to live or not. Okay, archiving test artifacts means keeping all the folders, documents in one folder, like plan document, completion report, summary report, test cases, scenarios, bug report. Normally, do in tools these days, they do in tools. If you are using any reports, you save everything in a folder like OneDrive, or a Teams, you keep a folder and keep it, or in a common drive you keep it. You store everything in a common folder. That is called as an archiving test artifacts. Test artifacts means test deliverables. All the plan document, strategy document, scenario document, test case document, bug report, RTM, test summary report are all called as test artifacts. Okay. Next one is we keep a closure meeting with all the stakeholders and discuss as per the requirement we completed or not. Are we good to go for release? We keep a closure meeting and we'll discuss and find. We started this project with the help of a kickoff meeting. Same thing we are going to close with the help of a closure meeting. There is something called as test closure and project closure. Test closure will be done at the end of the every release. Project closure will be done at the end of the project. Okay. Next one is there are different metrics we gather during the right, during their test closure phase. Metrics is nothing but some calculations, analyze some various things. How far the testing went, how far the bug went, whether we completed on time, whether the testing done effectively, how much calculating the effort, was a good product or bad product. Like that, we gather some metrics during your closure phase. Let's see one by one. There are three metrics. One is a process metrics, product metrics, and project metrics. Process, product, and project. Okay, so like that we gather some metrics like total number of test cases executed and total number of test cases not executed. I have 70 test cases, in this 65 test case executed or 30 test case not executed. Like that, we gather some metrics and we draw in the diagram and circulate in the test summary report or a test result report. Okay. Next one is test execution. Like for example, there are some 50 test cases. How much is executed and how much is not executed? Like that, we gather some metrics and circulate in the report. Okay. Next one is the different number of requirements. Like for example, 5. For that, how many test cases are required written? How many test cases have been executed? How many test cases have been passed? And how many failed? How many blocked? What are the critical defects? Like that, you gather some information that is called as a test matrix. Okay, hope it's useful for you. Right, test execution status. Total number of test cases executed, in that how much blocked, how many failed, and how many passed. Like that, you gather some information with some formulas. Okay. Next one is there are some formulas like defects accepted. Number of defects accepted as a valid by development team by total number of defects reported. Total number of defects 100 by 50 bucks is accepted by the development team as valid into 100. Number of defects rejected by total number of defects reported. Number of defects deferred by total number of defects report. Like number of defects found by total execution time. Like that, there are a lot of right metrics which can be analyzed and gathered during a test closure phase. Okay, so this is about the test closure. We'll also prepare a test summary report. 1 minute. Okay, we'll prepare a test summary report. Okay, at the end of a testing we have prepared some sample test summary report where we kept the content, right, table of content, purpose, application overview, testing scope, metrics, types of testing performed, test environment, lessons learned, recommendations, best practices, exit criteria, conclusion, definitions, acronyms and abbreviations, right, all these things will be there in the contents. First thing is the purpose of the document. Next one is an application overview. Next one is a testing in scope and out scope. What testing you did and what testing you did, both functional and non-functional. Okay, next one is items tested and items not tested. Short time, I told you metrics, number of test cases planned and number of test cases executed, number of test cases passed and failed. Like that, you gather and send in your test summary report. Total number of test cases planned, total executed, how many passed and how many failed. Okay, total number of defects identified, in that critical how much, major how much, medium how much, low how much. Like that, you gather some metrics based on the severity level. Okay, next one is defect distribution by module wise. For each module, how many defects you identified. Home module, like I found this critical bug. Book module, I find this many critical bug. For reservation, something you find this one. For defect distributed per module, how many defects you find and what is the severity. You can gather some metrics. Like that, you gather metrics and circulate in your test summary report. And what are the types of testing you perform? I did smoke testing, system integration testing, regression testing, and what environment I checked, tested. That will be clearly mentioned in your test summary document. What database, what server, what hardware, what ID, what language, user credentials for login credentials. All these things will be clearly mentioned. Next one is lessons learned. What are the lessons learned during my, shortly we discussed right before that, lessons learned, recommendations, best practices we followed. You circulate that so that it can be followed in the next sprint. Okay, next one is what is exit criteria, conclusion and sign off. If you have any abbreviations or definitions, we can use it. Okay, so all these things will be there in your test summary report. Okay, hope this video is useful to you. I completed all the 5 phases of software testing life cycle. Please watch all the videos. Hope this one is useful for you. Thank you. We'll meet again soon in the next video. Bye.